despite losing that main objective.
They had some wild moments there where I thought, no way do you lose Ray twice and continue winning. We're seeing the bans here. Hoopa and a Garchomp ban. That's a ban that tells me you know something that's happening on the side of Juicers. That's very targeted, very direct, as we see Slowbro and Blissey for the side of the Juicers. Huge power picks. Could Charizard come out? Could Cerulege come out?
Yeah.
None of them banned out yet, as Fusion is going to take their first pick, and it looks to actually be the Blaziken.
This almost feels like a test to see where Machisel lands. Because Garchomp is usually in their hands taking it top path. But unsurprisingly, Zugrug grabbing Umbreon, maybe the best defender that you and I think that we have going into this tournament. And Cerulege, no slouch.
It's going to be really interesting. I'm not surprised that Charizard has been completely avoided right here in some ways, but also Charizard has been completely avoided here, which is pretty crazy. We're looking at our next picks here for the Juicers. They did get Cerulege, so they have this incredibly powerful all-rounder. We're going to see what they want to take. Flareons could be on their signature Pokemon, but it looks like they're moving over to Cramorant.
Yeah, the strength of Cram is just undeniable right now. And that's why we've seen it chosen by every teams from every region. It is just that darn good. Roland grabbing the tree. I doubt that's where it ends up, as we're going to lock in our last supporter here, or our first supporter, I should say, for the Juicers.
No, I think they might be bringing out I mean, they have Tree and Umbreon already, so we're going to see what their next pick is. Looking to see possibly bringing out the Urshifu as our final pick. It's wild to me that Charizard unbanned and unpicked by either team. Instead, we've got a Scizor, who I'm guessing is going to be a Scyther there on the side of Fusion. Of course, that Blaziken first pick. We talked about Blaziken still being in the conversation as the best thing going for an all-rounder.
It's really good.
The rip, the secure, it's incredible. It's really, it really can do everything in a match, so I'm not surprised to see it. And I've noticed that it feels like Cerulege is losing a little priority as the day is going on. Maybe, you know, the Emperor has no clothes a little bit with it. It's a flashy Unite move, but it's not winning games.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, winning a game is ultimately what matters, of course. And Zugrug grabbing the tree, Roland going to be playing that Wish Umbreon, trying to really help sustain this picks. And let's get into a unique game between two Titans.
That's right. Fusion, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team. This is going to be huge as we have the AOS Cup champions versus the North American Regional champions. Here we go, game number one.
Machisel going to take that Cerulege top path, and once they cut them off of that Garchomp, they're ready to go. We've got the double invade. Kia already on the other side, can't leave with the buff, and that Gossifleur is getting the pressure put on them by Roland, forcing Zugrug as the Phantom to move in, because we also had that Swine up on the invade too.
Yeah, and you can see when you have an Urshifu in the central area, I love this play from Fusion. I think it's so smart. Urshifu is so bad until it evolves. That little Kung-Fu, it just can't get much done. And if you can put the pressure on it, make sure that it can't evolve, that would be huge. Or also just slow down its ability to evolve, because it takes a really long time to walk the path. Scyther already here in the top path.
Putting good pressure on Roland, I like not chasing that down. Scyther, if it gets caught once, it is easy to KO, and they're not willing to give one up early right now.
Here we go, 4 members of the Juicers here in the top path against 3 members of Fusion, as it all just goes away very fast. And that is not a Water Bear, that is another Dark Bear that we're seeing on broadcast, the Single Strike.
I mean, it's a good read. It looked phenomenal earlier today, and maybe Kratos has been on that wave as well. I mean, the secure is undeniable. The single target KO ability that it has in its Unite move, undeniable. So hey, let's leverage that. It's gone, but not forgotten.
Here we go, Kratos up in this top path, trying to deal with this, stop him from stacking a little bit, not able to make it happen. The mean look catches him right there, and when you've got the mean look and the single strike, it's going to be hard to get away. As I say that, tempo, of course, makes it happen.
No way, Kia's
no way.
I can't believe they just saved tempo, not getting them knocked out, flip the script, knock out Kratos back the, excuse me, Machisel back the other way. Was it Kratos? It was Kratos.
Yes,
it was Kratos back the other way. Now Nemo getting repositioned. That's an easy KO if they can get them locked down, but they can't, dude.
Wow, big stuff right here. Cramorant moving in. We have the dive, Hurricane Cram, looking to see what they can make happen. And Scyther just having to peel back here. The HP is very low. Really sharp wood hammer there by Zugrug saying, I think I know where you are, and a huge pickup for Flareons.
Flareons needed that. They need to get somebody on their team moving. Meanwhile, we actually have Machisel get a KO streak of 2 up top. So they are finding pressure points here. Once they can lock them down, at least they're converting. They have to close the door on the targets they catch.
Here we go, just another score here in this top path. Tempo being caught, but they're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to continue to get all of this experience in the top path. Juicers looking good here at the start of the match, evening up the scoreboard a little bit, but doing great on their fights.
Yeah, I think not getting the KO on the Combustion was one of those like cold water on the face wake up. Like, oh, Orange Juicers need to dial in. We cannot miss those opportunities. Drafting going to peel back. The Piloswine going to be able to chip up Zug. Regirock's at half. We're moving through. Nice Ice Fang reposition on Flareons, and they bought a lot of time, just enough for that Reggie to go down.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from Fusion, and it kind of looked like the Juicers were not really fighting it there. Right. They have Reggie Alecki that's going to be going towards their side, and now a huge Cerulege Unite move comes in. It looks like it caught 4 as they're going to continue the push. Big time Bitterblade. They're chasing down this Blaziken here. Tempo having to back up, but here comes Scyther.
Machisel just getting the punishment. Overheats there, and Nemo uses their Unite move, KO streak of 2 off the Blaziken, and all of a sudden the tide shifts and is moving the other direction. Roland is by themselves, picking up a berry, and we've got 4 players here with Zynus, the Candle, coming right behind. They're going to close this goal zone out, take a big lead. Meanwhile, we do have Kratos scoring on the backside.
Yeah, Kratos scoring up in that top path. And being look just for fun right there as they are able to pull out. Great fight by the Juicers, but then the big time haymaker counter punch coming in from Fusion. There was that Scyther moving in with the Unite move. Nothing to shut it down. And all the while, you know, Kratos in the top path getting some work done, but they're behind on score. They're doing pretty good on experience, but overall, that fight went the side of Fusion.
It absolutely did. And that was the exact thing I was talking about. If you catch a target, you got to finish a target. We're going straight in. Another move here as Tempo. If they're just continually getting out, Overheat charged up. Finally, the engagement by Kratos, and they get the knockout. Now they can follow up. KO's at half HP. They pick up their own Pollen Puff. They need to guard this goal zone. Roland just going to go for the score, and it should be light work for the volume of people that are here. Cram Unite is out. Flareon's looking for a target. Zynus pops there and just machine guns them down from the ceiling. And now another push stymied by one good player's play.
Incredible stuff there from Fusion, and I've got to call out a really cool interaction that we just saw right there, but we didn't see it on our screen. I'll tell you who did see it was Flareons. They used their Cramorant Unite move, then boom, Cerulege uses the Unite move to cancel. Cramorant's now in the dark, and it's not hitting anything with its Unite. It's a hard counter to Cramorant, but you've got to be really aggressive with the Candle. Luckily, they were able to make that play. Big play there by Fusion.
Keep in mind, this whole time, that's been Draken not been online. They are finally Mamoswine now. They are having their Unite move in their pocket. Regi's going to be taken easy. Anemo actually hanging out up top. Cotton Cloud Crash going to go try and pop somebody down. At least keep your buff, says Fusion. And Anemo says, all right, I got you, bud.
Yeah, there we go, as we have Scyther moving up here. Looks like it's going to get caught by a big-time Wicked Blow, but no, they miss. The Mean Look does shut it down, stops it from continuing the advance. Here comes the Unite move.
Going straight on top of Roland, right into Kratos, getting the knockout. Roland trying to get the Mean Look down. They do. They pick up a berry, but the pressure continues. KO streak of 2 from Anemo. Flareon steps up, and so does the Machisler. Machisler looking for Anemo. They need a big knockout here for the experience. Gulp and Gatling Missile comes out. We're trying to hit our targets. Tempo getting pinned down. Are they actually going to get a knockout on this Blaziken? Another engagement? No! Dude, who is this Tempo? And what are they doing to this map? The Juicers have got to be mad.
The Juicers have got to be upset by how some of these fights are going. I mean, it just feels like they cannot secure some of these KOs. On the other side, we have these beautiful secures with the overheats. They're pushing towards this goal zone right now. We have Mamoswine moving up. We have Scyther moving up towards this fight. They're going to see what they can do. This is a huge brawl with these two teams. The Umbreon Unite move comes out. Reggie Alecki is pushing. They're chasing it down. Cerulege goes down. Unite move from the Candle. That's a double KO for the Scyther. Make it a triple KO for the Scyther. That's 4 for the Scyther.
What up, Juicers? We're going to knock the pulp out your fruit. The whole team is wiped, and Fusion's got to be... No wonder they're so chill on stage, Spraggle.
Yeah.
What is this?
Unbelievable here. It's about a minute until Rayquaza. The Juicers are in this match. They've been playing well, but the last few fights have been controlled by Fusion. It's only a level 11 there on their top path Pokemon, 13 on the other side.
I'm like stun locked. This game felt so close, and then it was just one fight, and then it's all of a sudden like Anemo and Kea moving together and getting multiple knockouts ad nauseum. Draken's gonna get poached here, KO'd quickly, I hope. The way things have been going, you never know. And now they're moving through. Okay, the pressure's on, but what did Draken do again, Spraggles? Enough time to get an objective.
Ooh, beautiful stuff there. They actually got the full heal away from that Scyther in that moment. It's gonna be back relatively in time for Rayquaza, but a really nice catch there by Zugrug to make sure that he had to use that. If they're able to stop Scyther, shut it down in a mean look, catch it with Trevenant, they can do something. But the real Scyther counter is not in this match, which is Slowbro. 10 seconds now until Rayquaza. These two Titans are going at it. We have the orange juicers behind right here. Some aggressive positioning here by Fusion, just using their moves to check some of this tall grass and see where they're going to start the fight. We have the juicers starting to hit Rayquaza right here, and Mamo moves in!
Machizzle getting caught immediately. Nice Horn Leech for spacing. Flareon's pop 39. Eject button over. He catches two targets. They're caught in the mean look, but they're out of the Unite range. Focus blast in. Tempo looking to chase. Trevenant Unite pops, catches two. We're grabbing shields as Roland is in the back line trying to put some pressure on, and we are just ripping through. Ceruledge Unite on two more players, but they haven't converted them to KOs yet. We're moving forward. Finally, Anemo is down, and this is the opportunity the Juicers need. Machizzle's on the backside. We're moving back forward. We're on the chase. They're going to slash through. Draken Ice Fang.
No.
Perfect timing. Tempo cashes that in. Now Zugrug has to peel back. Tempo keeping the pressure on, and Kea is right there on the doorstep with him. Pollen Puff to top off the Mammoth Swine, and we are coming right back into the action. We have a mean look down, but it's on Kea. Rayquaza's getting worked on. It's below half. KO streak of two for Tempo. Why not? Tempo on the backside. Kratos on the verge of getting knocked out. Meanwhile, Anemo's back, which is just disaster if you're the Orange Juicers. Rayquaza's free, and Fusion is humming.
Fusion now moving to score here. They're going to try to stop it. We have Urshifu right here that could possibly get through some shields, but at the same time, the points are raining in the top path. The points are raining in the home goal zone. And right now, Fusion is looking to take game number one. Incredible fight from them. The fact that so many Pokemon on the side of Tempo, excuse me, on the side of Fusion, I'm thinking about Tempo.
On the side of Tempo.
Yeah, on the side of Tempo, or on the side of Fusion. So many Pokemon making it out of these fights on a sliver. Ceruledge not closing out a single moment. Bitterblade giving them the heals, but without the defense shred, they were not picking up the KOs, and they did not pick up a victory right here as Fusion secures a big-time win in Game 1.
I mean, come on, Cowboy. Tempo was like ever elusive, catch me if you can type energy. But credit to Kea and Draken,
yes,
who were immaculate all game long. Did you see that huge engage in that
Which
final?
I think was a big problem. Heading into our draft right here, it's already underway. Hoopa Garchomp banned again. We have Slowbro Blissey banned. First pick over to Fusion. They're grabbing the Blaziken. On the other side, we've got Ceruledge and we've got Umbreon. The more things change, the more they stay the same here. Mamo Eldegoss.
Okay, well, it's really going to come down to these last couple picks, right? Because Fusion has not switched up anything. And as we're seeing kind of this get queued up, and we'll see what's locked in, it looks like we're not really going to switch anything up for the Juicers based on these hovers here. Flareon's grabbing Cramorant again.
Yeah.
And is Roland going to lock in this tree? They are.
Yeah, so there we have the Trevenant. I mean, this is really a run back. So you've got to assume when you're seeing something like this, obviously Fusion feels good about this. They kind of started taking the pace of the game and really dictating it at about the 5-minute mark like we talked about, and it looked good for them throughout the rest of it. And now we're seeing the final pick over here to the Juicers, and I think maybe I'm wrong, but this is a full-on. We're going.
We're going.
Okay.
You know, I would love, I actually think Clefable would be kind of nasty for the Juicers right now. I mean, both wagging the finger in their face, hitting with the follow me, or just putting down gravity. And I know good players work around gravity, but at least it gives them an obstacle that they have to work around. Mean Look is very reactive.
Yeah.
You have to catch the right target, and if you don't, you're like, okay, we've got Kea locked down,
yeah,
and now the Blaziken's getting out again for the 4th time this game. Whereas at least gravity, if they're caught in the mud or if they misstep, that's a knockout.
Yeah.
They're just stuck with you.
You know, one thing I got to say I like about what the Juicers are doing here is if you feel like you actually had it, yeah, and here we go. Fusion, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team. Fun for them, Orange Juicers being orange here as we head into game number 2.
Draken again on this Mammoth Swan, which I was very impressed with that game, Spraggles. It looked incredible, and we still hear Zoink screaming in the background over the excitement of this Pokemon being there. Double invade again, put the pressure on. Why change anything up? It all seemed to work last time.
Yeah, it really did, and you know, smart play here obviously by the Juicers. They know what they're going to do. They're going to have to see how they can stop this, and even if they don't fully stop it, right, they're just slowing them down, making sure they can't evolve when they want to, and they were able to get it, and they spun on them. Oh my gosh.
Dude, what? Come on, why not at this point? I mean, Hurricane pops up, they're going to get that eject button actually. Now the chase is on. Eject back the other way, and at least the buff is sitting on the side of the Juicers, but they have cost this Kubfu a ton of time.
Look, the spin is obviously the disrespect. You kind of love it in a wild way in a game like this. The fact that Zugrug didn't spin back right there, though, I mean, I think a spin for a spin.
Without a doubt. You got to keep that balance sheet.
You got to keep that spin going.
Got it. Everybody spinning to win. Charging up the big, Jesus, what's that called?
That's the Wicked Blow, my
Holy
friend.
smokes. How did I say it well before and I just completely evaporated out of my brain last time? Nice Wicked Blow. They get experience. You start talking.
Here we go, up into the top path. We got the Scyther moving in, trying to score here with Scyther and Blaziken on the goal zone. They might be able to make it happen as they're going to move towards this fight. The Wicked Blow charging up, able to, I think, secure some of that wild Pokemon experience. Zugrug in a lot of trouble right now, being ripped apart here by the Scyther.
Yeah, and really just kind of stepped into the tall grass to find out that their biggest nightmare was there waiting for him, quickly knocked out, but at least it gave Kratos the opportunity to get a stack in. Roland struggling to evolve here. Finally, they take over. Kia kind of relentless on him, just pressing him down.
Yeah, Kia doing a great job here, but at the same time, I like this play by the Juicers. I like that they peeled away from that fight so they could score that 19. It's an awkward amount of points to score in the top path by yourself. Here we have the Machisel moving towards, seeing if they can make something happen, but of course you're fighting into an Eldegoss on the goal zone. The Scyther is here in this top path as well. We're going to see how they want to play this. Tempo is now Blaziken also, so we could have a fight really kick off here at the 720 Birds.
Flareons and Zugrug babysitting downstairs here. It's kind of a 2v2, if you will. Zainus and Draken stepping up, getting a good vision on what's going on here. And we're going to see where these teams prioritize they want to scrap.
Yeah, and here we go. We've got the bird spawning in just a couple seconds. They found him with the pollen puff right there. Here comes the Wicked Blow, but it's all pulled over to the side of him.
I mean, Fusion is just moving like a well-oiled machine. They understand where you're going to be hiding out. They check the bushes and really just make sure that they're securing all that hollow air is just amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, I like that it stopped you mid there. You're like, took your breath away for a second
it's
there.
Very solid.
It is very pretty as we have Blaziken looking to do something very pretty here for Fusion. Hard to stop this secure. Here comes the overheat, and they don't.
I mean, let's talk about what Zainus did. Did you see them switch immediately into defender mode? They're like, okay, we have Blaziken overheat. I'm going to stop hitting things. I'm just going to run at them and make sure if I go down, at least we'll get the objective. Draken trying to use Earthquake into the backside. We're charging up and forcing Zugrug completely out. Flareons has to try and take care of this goal zone themselves, but that defensive pool out of that Pokemon is not very high, which means this goal zone is having tons of points put in.
Yeah, really great stuff there from Fusion, and Juicers not able to make much happen in this top half, but here's the mean look. Scyther Unite right back the other way. They can't make something happen with it yet. They're jumping in, continuing to rip through them, but they're on their goal zone right here, rolling in some trouble. Big time Wicked Blow, and they actually take him down this time.
That is tough. Overheat there, going to knock off half their HP. Kia moving back forward, but they're staying relentless. Cerulich kind of overextended. Machisel should not have been there. They should have been happy with everything that they earned off the back of the Nemo knockout. Roland trying to move forward. Kia, great job spacing, and now they have Kia in the mean look. What's it actually doing to the objective? Who cares? Kia goes down. Tempo just focus blasting to try and see what they can actually push here.
Yeah, Tempo, I mean, when you have Blaziken near an
Hello
objective,
and
it's so
welcome to the
difficult
Pokemon
to
Center
stop it. At the
pop-up here
same
in
time, of
Honolulu,
course, we
Hawaii
have
at
Kratos. Kratos is doing a great job here, but they're not able to position Kratos well enough around these objectives so that it can have a chance to secure it. I still think Overheat's a better secure, but Wicked Blow is, I mean, it's wicked strong.
and goes wicked hot, buddy. Draken right there working through as Zugrog and Draken have just been staring at each other for the last 4 minutes or whatever. Overheat from the bush, not sussed out, and Nemo going in, and so is Kratos looking for an opportunity here. Nice hurricane spin up. Can they leverage it? No. Zynus' trap makes them pop the Unite move. Zruledge right back, and there's the Cram Unite. Can they get some KOs here? No, because Anemo showed up, pulled up for the smoke, popped their Unite move, and eviscerated the entire team. Zugrug's not there, so they don't get the courtesy of getting knocked out with the rest of the family, and now they're just going for a big-time score.
Yeah, and here they go, scoring in this top path. I think there was a little discussion as to whether or not they were going to put in a few points with Blaziken. Looks like they didn't care about it right there as they got another big-time fight win. This is something we're talking about. They get the mean look to lock something down, but they're not able to finish a lot of these fights. And I feel like this Zruledge is not set up in the perfect position to do that. However, they had a better fight a little bit ago on Anemo. We're going to see what they can do down here at Reg Ice. We have the Wicked Blow about to be charged up. Trevenant Unite coming in, and they do finally get a secure.
With the Wicked Blow, that's what you picked it for. They get Draken as a knockout. Zugrug going to be able to poach Zynus right here. Mean Look finally works out for once, and now they're going to score. And Nemo's on this goal zone trying to defend it, and they're getting sussed and KO'd. KO streak of 3 for Flareons. The kid coming alive.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here, and this is actually the Juicers fighting really well. And as you called out, a couple of those Mean Looks set it up pretty properly, right? One of the problems is those Mean Looks are working really well when they're kind of trickling in, you know, one player by one player, and they're able to grab them. They're not working that well in some of these bigger fights.
And they need them to work out in the big fight here. Nemo going straight on. They'll engage on anybody. Hornleech through, caught in the Mean Look there, and they pop their Unite move. They are still standing, 2 players down. Shandy Unite on top of the Cramorant, rinse and repeat from game 1, and that's another amazing exchange for Fusion. Dude, they are catching them as they want, and they can't deliver.
Yeah, and you can, you know, say, like, there was a good fight from the Juicers right in the bottom path just a bit ago, but at the same time, we had Tempo in the top path scoring another 50. They're up 270 to 100 right now, ready to get the big time secure. Zruledge Unite doesn't find its mark, but to be fair, it'll have it back in time, so I think that was a reasonable try as we have Roland in a lot of trouble right here, just being ripped apart. They're running away from this fight. A fight at the tier 2 now. Reggie Alecki is here in the top path. They may have just wanted to let this walk here. We're going to have to see how it turns out, though. They don't want to give up any points, but it's only 19 in that goal zone at this point. However, they want to stop this. They don't want to leave their home goal zone open. They want to keep the score line as close as possible. And no, they actually have to end up letting it walk. 40 seconds left on the clock, and we have a Reggie spawning in the bottom path in 10 seconds.
I think I just saw why Shandy is played, and they let Zruledge through. Because Zruledge pops the Unite move, and that was Zynus, bang, imprisoned, they're stuck in spot, and they get melted down, dude.
Here we go, Reggie Steele. They're looking for the secure here from Tempo, and it looks like the Juicers might be turning this into the Rayquaza fight. We're gonna have to see what they want to do. Mean Look onto the wrong target, obviously. They're gonna throw the Focus Blast and push them out. Anyone could start this as the Ray fight, and it looks like Reggie Steele still has a possibility to go down to the side of Fusion as they have to peel out.
I like this move. Just take a deep breath. Let's fight over the objective here that we need. And Orange Juicers need this Rayquaza. They are down by 151 points.
Here we go. Setting up for this fight, they're going to need to find their moment. They haven't found a lot of moments against Fusion. This, you know, incredible defender in Draken has just set up insane plays for the side of Fusion. Chandelure, they've just not been able to get close enough to it to make anything happen. As we have multiple members of the Juicers right now actually choosing to play a little Stardew Valley. They're farming up their side of the map, trying to get them on an even footing level-wise. Draken jumping in. That Mean Look is one of those like, hey, I see you. Yeah, I see you too. As we have a little bit of a catch on the Blaziken.
All right, Tempo trying to go down the eject button out. They get out of the Cramorant, pop by the Trevenant, and they make it out again. Cotton Cloud Crash going to pick up Draken. They're moving back. Zynus is low. They're buckled. Kratos stepped up and actually delivered on a blow here. Zruledge Unite right back into the action. They're caught in the mix, and that's a KO streak of 2, and Nemo's down. This is the opportunity the Juicers need. Chaos scrambling around, and here comes Tempo right back, but there is everybody in their face. They're trapped in another Mean Look. Can they deliver on anything? Tempo is on the low HP, and they're KO'd by Majizzle. Draken is the only one stands. Rayquaza's at half. The whole team is wiped, and the Orange Juicers are fusing themselves into a real team here and putting themselves in a position to go to a Game 3.
Don't call it a comeback, but here are the Orange Juicers scoring 100 points in the top path, 100 points in the bottom path. We call these Hundo Burgers, and they're putting them on the grill right now, getting ready for a game number 3. They are not ready to go down to Fusion here, and I gotta say, they finally showed those moments they needed. They had big catches with the mean look, great positioning in that final fight, and when they finally got that Scyther, it was time to make something happen. Juicers tying it up here in Game 2.
Great showdown. Now, all that to be said, they obviously delivered, but what that catch did for the first time, it caused a panicked moment out of Fusion. And I can't wait to talk about that a little bit more. But as the Orange Juicers have won Game 2, they caught Tempo, the Blaziken. But what, they didn't knock Tempo out in that moment, but it caused panic out of Fusion. You saw Unite moves firing for no value all over the place. You immediately saw Kea take this guys to Cotton Cloud Crash to try and save Tempo, but they were already out. And all of a sudden, when everything settled out for just a moment, they looked and we said, we have no resources left, and it became easy pickings for the Juicers.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we normally see out of Scyther in a lot of these competitive matches. They're on a top player. And when it's on, it goes crazy. But if you catch it, oh boy, I mean, you're just catching the bug in the net, and there's really nothing it can do at that point. Big stuff here from the Juicers. Incredible final fight. Getting ready to see which one of these teams is going to make a big statement in their groups. The bans could look similar. Look, the picks could look similar. They ran it back Game 2. They might run it back Game 3. Garchomp banned out again. Slowbro banned out again. Looking for that final ban. Blissey banned out once again. So I think things are going to look pretty similar right here. If I'm Fusion, I'm honestly feeling pretty good. And now if I'm the Juicers, I'm honestly feeling pretty good.
I would be feeling a little shakier if I'm the Orange Juicers.
Sure, yes.
That was Tempo giving them the opportunity for the catch, which, again, for Fusion might be like what you were saying is like, our strategy works. It was just a little bit of a subpar execution in that moment. Juicers, no fear though, they're just queuing everything back up, and if we have our 3rd consecutive game of these 5-on-5, listen, the first 2 games have been bangers, give me another one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if we're seeing the same picks, I think they make a lot of sense right here as we're looking to lock in our next Pokemon. We can see Cramorant once again, we can see the tree once again, and that looks like what's happening. Both teams are feeling pretty good here. Juicers, obviously, they showed it there. When they can execute on their strategy, they can win a huge fight. Right. Now, I wonder if Fusion wants to change anything maybe sneaky near the end of the draft, or if they're just going to go with the tried and true, what kind of won them most of the game. And here we go. We have them running it back. There's the Candle, there's the Scyther, and finally, Urshifu being locked in for the Juicers 3 in a row.
Let's do it all over again, Cowboy. I mean, now it just comes down to execution. You've had the opportunity to change the tools in your tool belt. You showed up to work with the same stuff.
Just keep coming in the same way. Here we go.
Now you just need to build that piece of furniture or whatever you do as your job. Whatever your tools may be, they look different for all individuals.
It's true. There's a lot of different tools out there, and right now we're going to have to find out if the very same tools that we've seen in Game 1, Game 2 will provide a win to the Juicers. And the reason I'm talking about the Juicers here is I do feel like throughout this series, they have been behind.
Correct.
Most of the time, they have been behind. They have had some flashes of brilliance, and in fact, Flareon's on Cramorant had some pop-off moments that last game, having the most KOs in the match. Losing this game as we are getting ready for game number 3. Fusion, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team. Game 3 here in our group stage.
No surprises where these Pokemon are going, Spraggles, and why not Gossifleur and Swinub, a crosstown shootout maneuver for them, of course. The way they actually stagger it, too, is kind of cool. Kea moves in first, and then Draken steps up. Kea actually going towards Draken instead of peeling back like they have been before. So maybe that's the switch up here, Sprig.
Yeah, and here we go. We're actually looking for a little bit of a fight here. We're going to see what they're able to do. They could eject over this wall if they have an eject button in their arsenal. We're going to have to see how they want to play this. They actually do just dash over the wall right there. They are able to make it out. I'm sad we didn't get to see the dancing.
Yeah, well, they didn't do too much that time around.
Yeah.
Less to dance about in that particular moment. But again, so much time wasted, which is invaluable in a 10-minute game.
Absolutely. It slowed down them getting their Urshifu. If you look at the bottom path right here, I have to give it up to Zugrug and Flareons. It feels like they have been outperforming in the bottom path every single match. You see them have a higher level. Not able to make a fight here. Looking to see if they can get to the Scyther, but no, they missed the Wicked Blow completely, and now they're going to have to peel back.
Yeah, and Nemo strapping on the goofy shoes, able to dodge the Wicked Blow, which really would have spelled a disaster because there's 2 other juicers there ready to pounce if that was going to land.
And here we go, Scyther just looking to clean up some of this central area, get as much experience as possible. As we've talked about, things seem to be going pretty well for the juicers in the bottom path. Always a nice level advantage on this Cramorant down here, and usually a level advantage also for the tree, as we have a nice KO here, but here comes Scyther to try to throw one back the other way, and they do.
Yeah, we saw the dual wing beat just fall a little shy. We tried to turn around with the Wicked Blow to at least scare them away. No fear in their heart, stepping forward and getting a good quality knockout. Now Anemo a little outflanked here, but Chisel and Flareon's both there. Nice Hurricane to spin up Anemo, but the follow-up is going straight towards Machisel, letting them off the hook is the Scyther. Zainu's great job moving in for the cover.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from the Candle, making sure that we could get Anemo out of there. At the same time, we've got once again the Ceruledge on the Bitter Blade. They're using it at the start of the fight, giving them this big-time boosted attack, but they're also not able to take advantage of a ton of the healing because of that. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, as I've heard all sorts of.
Well, some.
I guess you could have some that maybe just have one edge, but I mean, that's not a very good sword, I wouldn't say. As we're getting ready for this fight, they're catching him here with the Pollen Puff. They know where Machisel is.
Now Nemo sees Roland going for the engagement on them, but Kratos with good cover, Flareon's in the tank as well. Quality knockout for the juicers there. How much was Fusion able to do while that was going on? Not much, as Tempo quickly eviscerates a wild Pokemon and steps back into the pocket of Kale.
Yeah, one thing is Tempo on this Blaziken is now 8, so they have the ability to switch between their moves. They have the ability to secure this here. We have the Juicers wanting to start this fight. They do have the single strike, and they're actually looking to take the fight towards Fusion.
They knock out Kea quickly. They're the ones caught in the mean look, which means that's the target they went for. Another mean look for Tempo, but that just makes sure they can't secure the Regieleki. Tempo going to sit on pad as the rest of the team grabs the basement Reggie. Roland puts down another mean look, keeps them just away from the berry. Regieleki goes in, and they have a great opportunity to get a big-time score lead.
Yeah, and here we go. I like this play right here. They have some time. They can be a little patient. They can try to get these stacks as they're continuing to push towards this fight. The goal zone's defenseless, so they're not getting the shields. They're not getting the heals. Tempo, however, doesn't care. He's looking to take a fight. Takes another one down. That's a double KO as we have Ceruledge running the other way to try to score again. 40 points in the pockets of Tempo, looking to score in this top path.
Immediately seeing Rolling was there. Quick overheat release to see if they could scare Rolling away, force them to grab a berry. They go straight back to scoring. 40 in the pocket. And look at that. They're just putting Rolling on the berry duty to make sure, like, yeah, you got to go heal. I'm going to try and score again just in case you leave me alone. Look at this just kind of map pressure that caused, Spraggles.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Trevenant's here getting pushed immediately. Scyther Unite move looking to pick up the KO, and they do. Here comes the Urshifu, one back the other way, but the Ceruledge Unite starts ripping through them.
But Zainu's was there. Yes, Tempo went down, but the Unite move popped by the Candle, and they put everybody in the dark and then burned up the couch in the living room. Just absolutely flamethrowered him.
Amazing stuff right there. Unfortunately for Cramorant, just coming in at the wrong time, getting caught right there in the imprison. Can't dive away from it, can't use your Unite move, can't do too much, as now Fusion's feeling pretty good. 206 to 96. They're up here, they're taking good fights, but I gotta say, Juicers is feeling better in a lot of these exchanges. It feels like they're sort of figuring out the flow of a Fusion fight and when they can actually make some of their catches.
Absolutely, and I think on the other hand, Fusion's kind of coming apart at the seams. They're getting a little bit more anxious. The engagements have a little bit less tact to them that they did in Game 1 and the first parts of Game 2. Draken just being a harassing type tank in the front, just making sure they can cut off this Orange Juicers team. Quick imprison, nice little earthquake. Key is there to pick everybody up.
And here we go. We have the Ceruledge just ripping through some of this experience right here as they're getting ready for this bottom objective. However, in the top path, Scyther and Blaziken rip through that in a second. That's walking towards the tier 2. We don't have anyone from the Juicers there to deal with it. Urshifu is basing right now to see if they can make it in time, but who knows if they're going to be able to stop the fight. Here on the bottom path, we have the Ceruledge looking to make something happen, but it's getting shut down here. Jumping back in, looking for the KO on the Candle. They are able to get it. Trevenant with the security. pressure as we still have Umbreon fighting in this top path, everyone crashing down on this goal zone, and 2 members of Fusion running towards the bottom goal.
Fusion giving the Juicers an absolute gift. The Regieleki doesn't hit. They are able to get back in enough time to catch them. 3 players down in a heartbeat, and 206.96 feels a little bit more achievable now if you're OJ.
What a fight here between these 2 teams. They're really close. Juicers actually able to defend at that top path. When Scyther and Blaziken were there and no one from the Juicers was in sight, I thought this was going to be really bad for them. They actually were able to make something happen here. Great stuff for the Juicers. They're still behind, but that could have been catastrophic for them.
A rare moment where Draken and Kea aren't able to buy enough time for their team to execute their strategy here. So maybe kicking themselves because they weren't too far off. That Regieleki was right on the doorstep. Quickly sussed out, but Chisel goes in. We're in a mean look as Kea. Just going straight for the downstairs engagement. Draken is there to stop them, so is Anemo. Now we're putting tons of damage on. Dual wing beat doesn't hit, but at least it forces rolling back towards the rest of the team. But they're looking to chase. All 5 players are there. Mean look on Anemo, that might stymie that chase for now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to peel back right here. Obviously, Fusion wants to take a fight. They love to take fights, and they're good at it. But they recognize that running into that tier 2 at about the 3-minute mark might not be exactly what they want. Instead, getting ready for a fight here. Zug just starting to see exactly where Fusion is. Dual wing beat is coming in, ripping apart these swap.
Machisel going straight towards Kea. It seems like Machisel's job is to get this Eldegoss off the map. They've been really targeting them down. Zugrug moving forward, going to be the first one to set the pace. Charging up and overheat in the bush, and they took tons of damage to Zug. We try to fire a focus blast for the follow-up, and Tempo's just being relentless. Now all the Juicers are kind of stuck together, not too sure where they can go, and the Regieleki's still on the map.
Yeah, the Regieleki's still there, and it looks like Fusion is just going to walk away from it, prepare for Rayquaza. They are up. They're up by over 100, so we can't really get a sneaky score to make something happen here for the Juicers. We're going to have to see how Fusion wants to play this, getting really aggressive right there, seeing if they can catch something in the tall grass. This is game 3, the last one between these 2 teams in groups, and it could decide a lot depending on how the rest of the day goes. We're going to see how they want to start this fight. If the Juicers can get a catch like they did last time, they can make something big happen. But of course, it feels like Fusion has played so many of these fights perfectly right here. Kratos charging up the Wicked Blow, Scyther moving in and out. No one wanting to take this fight yet until they can find a great opportunity for the team. Zugrug looking to see if they can make their moment happen, possibly with a Wood Hammer into a Horn Leech. Tempo throwing out the Focus Blast, just seeing if anyone's going to bite, who is going to move forward, and it needs to be the Juicers at some point because they are behind. Sneaky score happening in the bottom path. Urshifu looking to put points in, but it's not going to catch him, and here comes Trevenant.
Nice Ice Fan KO quickly on Zugrug. They're caught out. Machisel's getting dual wing beat down, and Nemo's on the chase. Nice Earthquake Ice Fang engage. Flareon's is in the backside. They eject over the wall to keep this Cram Unite going, but the chase continues. There's 1 player down, and that's Nemo on the other side. That might be the good enough target that Orange Juicers needs to flip the script on this. They're getting chased down in prison, and they pop the Unite move, but all of a sudden there's no value there. Cram still stands. Kratos still stands. What are the Juicers gonna do?
Oh no, they found Kratos in the tall grass. He was trying to base, but he's not able to make it out. He's very low on HP. He will go down in this moment. He's able to take, wait, Unite move! He goes back towards the Blaziken, but Blaziken doesn't go down. It's so close, but he goes down. Back at the Rayquaza pit, we have a fight breaking out. Umbreon's in a lot of trouble, and Ray has not been hit yet.
Draken goes for the Ice Fang, picks up, puts down, force out the Ceruledge Unite, but on a Mammoth line, that's not the target. Anemo's there to cut him down with both blades that they're carrying strapped to those shoulders. They're going for the reset. 15 seconds left, and things are looking dire for the Juicers. They can't keep this score line close like OJ's glove.
And here we go. They're not able to make it happen. The Juicers can't score, and Fusion is going to take game number 3, holding them strong throughout that entire fight.